It's a fact that most people who are living through incredibly historic times almost never recognize that it's happening. And some of the most effective individuals fighting against tyranny are too busy fighting tyranny to ever basically take credit for it. Well, we're not here taking credit for anything because the battle is ongoing, but people listening to this broadcast have to understand it is the opposite of hype. When I tell you that there is literally a battle for this country and every other major nation's sovereignty going on right now. Globalism, or private corporate world government, was so arrogant and thought we were so stupid that it could build a world planetary corporate system and just keep denying it existed while they publicly transferred power to themselves. Now, here was the problem. They openly told the intelligentsia, the military brass, you name it, for 60 years that they were building a global system for peace and that world government was meant to give the people empowerment. Now that the public understands that globalism is really eugenics-based and not, like the UN says, some loving, sweet kumbaya system, or like UNICEF says, it's falling apart. So they are striking back. In fact, I was reading The Economist magazine, the latest issue, and they were admitting the answer is the cities. They said the globalism still has control of cities. People are in debt. They're living in compact buildings. They basically don't know how to take care of themselves. They're stupid on average. They don't say it like that, but they say they're cosmopolitan. They buy what we do. They like to pay 5 times more than they should for an apartment because it's trendy. They like to drive cars to go. They don't go out and hunt. They don't go out and fish. They don't go out and farm. They don't roof their own house. They're good little consumers that will rent everything and will live in self-driving, cars and just let us control them. And they admitted that it's key for globalist combines, big banks, to only give money through social engineering. That's Agenda 21 to the big cities in a war between rural, suburban systems versus the cities. So they're openly declaring the war. I mean, you see the Hollywood stars we've got on Infowars.com, Tom Hanks and all these people, so embarrassingly crying for Obama and how beautiful it was and how so sad it's all falling apart. These people are the stupidest, most moronic, pathetic, servile fools the world has ever seen. But here's the problem. The hardcore social engineers that are controlling them aren't. And so everybody think about that. Obama's doing everything he can to stop Trump's mandate, the mandate that swept the House, the Senate, 900 seats in legislatures, a ton of governors. One of the biggest political realignments in our history, and it's happening all over the world at the same time, part of a super wave, a super revolt against globalism being led by patriots in this country as well as the UK, as well as Russia. And so that's why they project onto us everything that they are and say that, the reason, the Trump one is the Russians, because they know full well the globalists, the communist Chinese, the Saudi Arabians, the EU, the mainstream media, all piled on for Hillary Clinton, and it was a repudiation of all of them. So even if you buy that it was the, quote, Russians, and I've read this report, Zero Hedge has the whole thing posted, it's on Infowars.com. If you read the stupid CIA report, it goes, on this episode of RT, someone said, I wonder if it's true that Hillary's falling down. Then on this episode, they talked about, will Hillary go to jail? There's a major movement pushing it. Then on another, and it was like, Mommy, it was like a 10-year-old tattling to Mommy, and then he pulled my hair, and then he stole my snow cone, and then he broke my Barbie doll. This was their hack. And again, never a material hack. Imagine Trump sat there for 2 hours, hearing them go, sir, here's a clip of RT where they said, something about you positive and something negative. Of course some of the Russian media was negative. I mean, as if Russia has this big influence. I mean, our YouTube channel is bigger than RT's here in the U.S. This is just crazy. And I'm not putting down RT. But imagine this, folks. They are saying that RT, you can go read the CIA report. It's on Infowars.com, or just type in, see the CIA briefing Trump was given. And it's photoshopped clips, like little screenshots out of like RT and Russian newspapers going, look, they said bad things about Hillary, and that's why she lost. What? The reason she lost was the whole MSM put everything they could behind Hillary, and it blew up in your faces. And everyone hates you now. They're sick of being force-fed. That's why it blew up in your faces, not the Russians. Of course the Russians have pulled away from the exact same megabanks, and we salute them for that. We hope everybody from Chile to Nigeria, from Mexico to Tunisia, everybody from Japan to Morocco, pulls out of the New World Order, and a bunch of mega banks that just make money up out of nothing and create derivatives to bankrupt everybody and enslave everyone. I hope they all go straight to hell. So again, they're crippled, they're out of control, they're falling apart. The problem is they know they're losing everything fast, and they know Trump is intending to prosecute them for their crimes and really clean house. In closing, I'm going to say this to hand the baton tonight. They're already, before he even gets in, moving to repeal Obamacare. He reportedly already has the votes. Republican leadership is panicking. The wall, of course, we have to start the building of it. And then through tariffs, if Mexico doesn't comply, very low ones, we can pay for the wall. But they're going, oh, look, he's building it, but we have to pay. He's wrong. Borders means national sovereignty on China. He's already getting ready and has the votes to cut the corporate income tax to bring the jobs back, over $1 trillion. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, he's already demanding all the paperwork on Obama, ordering the borders wide open, and all the executive criminal activity, and all the secret orders that Obama signed, where the main body of the paper is secret, only the boil down's public. Trump is about to absolutely come after them. If they would have kissed his butt, he would have still come after them. That's why they're so scared and fighting for their lives, because Trump is a patriot. I'm going to say it again. I've done research. I've checked with the proper channels, and I've also seen what he's done. Trump's for real. They're panicking. Trump's for real. They're panicking. Trump's for real. Trump's mentor for 20-plus years was the top lawyer for the McCarthy Un-American Activities Commission and others in New York, and that's why they're so scared. Trump knows everything. Trump is more John Birch Society than John Birch Society. That's the real Donald Trump. He played possum on him this whole time, waiting, building the database of patriots, building the database of citizens, waiting for this wave to come. Folks, Trump's prescient, okay? That's why they're so scared. They are crapping their drawers right now. They understand the move. They have panic in their eyes. If they try to start a war or they try to kill Trump, the military is going to move against them. So understand that. The military and the FBI and most of the agencies who aren't perfect, but they don't want to be involved with a bunch of child molesters. They're with Trump and the American people. They want to make America great again. This is a historical mission going on, and I can tell you this is now happening and tell you that we are spot on, and our analysis and breakdown, I've been told from the highest levels, is dead on with what's currently happening. We are in the middle of the most epic time this country and this world has ever seen. This is such an amazing time. And even if they're able to kill Trump and try to stop this, the awakening's so big, it's going to blast through all of that. And that's why they're in such panic, because Hollywood and the globalists are a bunch of anti-family, anti-Christian weirdo freaks that are in a cult, basically. Okay? And that's why Hollywood is freaking out and going so crazy right now, because these people are very degenerate, very, very wicked control freaks who really get off on bringing America down and who wanted to mount our head on the wall and basically celebrate that they finally controlled the U.S., sucked it dry, and used it to build a big, giant, stinking world government. So again, there is a civil war going on between globalists. They're the foreign occupiers. They're the New World Order against we the people working with Trump and new media against the collaborator media. When you see MSM, folks, that is your sworn enemy, absolutely committed. They've been hired because they hate you and your family. Back to David Knight.
People have asked me for 20 years, Alex, why don't you have firearms and firearms accessory sponsors? And the answer is, it's a minefield. Well, in 2016, things changed. At Tennessee Arms, that is the founders, the inventors, the leaders, they defended it in court of the resin lowers with the brass inserts that in many cases go further than even aluminum or steel manufacturing. 30 to 60,000 rounds by third-party reviewers. This is the best system out there, and we're talking a third the price of leading competitors. This is how it works. You order, customized, or straight from the factory, however you want it. It is shipped on the next business day to you and your family, and a percentage of the profit goes to fund the defense of this republic. You cannot lose. You're funding the info war. You're getting the highest quality product, the most tested, the most durable, the most certified, the most believed in. You need to have this true piece of America ready in minutes.
It's a fact that most people who are living through incredibly historic times almost never recognize that it's happening. And some of the most effective individuals fighting against tyranny are too busy fighting tyranny to ever basically take credit for it. Well, we're not here taking credit for anything because the battle is ongoing, but people listening to this broadcast have to understand it is the opposite of hype. When I tell you that there is literally a battle for this country and every other major nation's sovereignty going on right now. Globalism, or private corporate world government, was so arrogant and thought we were so stupid that it could build a world planetary corporate system and just keep denying it existed while they publicly transferred power to themselves. Now, here was the problem. They openly told the intelligentsia, the military brass, you name it, for 60 years, that they were building a global system for peace, and that world government was meant to give the people empowerment. Now that the public understands that globalism is really eugenics-based and not, like the UN says, some loving, sweet kumbaya system, or like UNICEF says, it's falling apart. So they are striking back. In fact, I was reading